Good morning and welcome back to The Morning Magazine, presented by Comfort Air Heating, Cooling, Plumbing. It's time for part 2.
Welcome back, everyone, to Morning Magazine, Part 2 for the September 16th, 2020. Your host, James J. Malouf here. Thank you very much for joining us. And joining us right now, not only do we have Kev sticking around from Wisconsin Rapids Community Media, appreciate that, and, of course, Dean Veneman, who was just with us with the mayor. And again, thanks for joining us for this, Dean.
Thank you, James.
Well, we want to introduce Nancy Mischnick with us as well. Nancy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
How are you and yours doing?
We're all, one day at a time.
Yes, that is, isn't that just the best way to answer that question nowadays? Just one day at a time. I don't know if there's a better way to answer that, Nancy. That's great. What we're here to talk about today is for Putting for a Cause. This is a very cool event. It's your third annual one, and it's for an important cause to a lot of us, especially here at the station, Wisconsin Rapids and the Wood County K-9 units. So first off, for anybody who may have not heard about the event yet, what can you tell us about the event? And I'll let either one of you start with this. I don't want to put either of you on the spot with that. So
I can talk about the event.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so this is our third annual Sunrise Rotary, as we're calling it, the Mini Ryder Cup. And it takes place on Thursday, September 24th. Tomorrow is supposed to be our deadline for our golfers. We're limiting it, to 72 golfers. Starts at 5 p.m. for food and beverage, and 6:30 we're doing a shotgun start out at Papa Bear's Mini Golf in the town of Rome. So if you need an address for that to plunk into your GPS, it's 266 Matterhorn Drive. And cost is $35, which includes golf, food, and everyone will get a souvenir mask, which is adorable. Thanks to Angel Whitehead for designing that for us. And as you said, the proceeds are going to go for K-9 units. And every time we've done one of these Ryder Cups, we've always had a challenge. So it's been sometimes an international versus a local charity. And this time it's two local charities. It's the K-9 units for the city of Wisconsin Rapids, and then versus the K-9 unit for Wood County. And so each hole will consist of 4 golfers. 2 of the golfers will be playing for one, and 2 of the golfers will be playing for the other. And we're splitting the proceeds 60-40. So the winning, I guess are we tallying this as a total?
Yeah, well, it would be the total winning team. So if it filled up, it would be 36 teams each.
36 golfers for each.
36 golfers for each. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
30, two to a team, and there would be one on each hole. So we're like Nancy mentioned, we do have masks, and that's another reason. We've had more on the course before, but this year we are capping it off at 72 just to follow the social distancing guidelines, although it is outside, and it's a pretty big place, so you're going to be 6 feet apart pretty much the entire time for the most part.
Golf is almost designed for physical distancing, so we do have that working for us.
Even though it's mini, it's still pretty large facility. It's a beautiful facility if you haven't been.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because Papa Bear's mini golf, I haven't actually been there, but I've been past it a bunch, and I just cannot wait to check that out. It looks so much fun. It looks like a great place.
Yeah, it's not all full of windmills and stuff, but it's a really fun and it's a beautiful setting.
Yeah, and any chance to get over into that neck of the woods of Rome, I always take. I love that area. It's a great spot. Before we get too far ahead into the event, I wanted to rewind a little bit and just kind of find out how this came about. When it comes to this, the Sunrise Rotary Club every year, it's the third one we've done. And as you mentioned, Nancy, that you guys take a different cause every year and everything. Mm-hmm. Is that where this kind of stemmed from? Seeing your community and having things you wanted to help with, and doing something to do that, to bring some awareness and bring some, hopefully money towards it?
Absolutely. Rotary is designed to be service above self to begin with. And so we are a service organization. For anyone that might be interested in joining us right now, we don't meet in person. We're doing Zoom meetings, which is every Thursday morning from 7 to 8 typically. And it's just a great group of people that really care about their community, their area, as well as our international focus. And Rotary has got a great reputation throughout the world. including the elimination of polio, which is huge. But here locally, we've done lots of really cool things. We had a major fundraiser event where we supported the outdoor learning center at Mead School, and we actually had our first in-person meeting since March before school started, so we could see how that played out. So we're always looking at doing something to invest here locally. I mean, we live here, we love it here, we want to help locally, but we've never lost the vision for international projects as well. We are involved with Wisconsin Nicaragua Partners, which probably most people have heard of, up in Stevens Point. We're involved with a group in Honduras called Shoulder to Shoulder, which is on the ground health programs, schools,
water filtration.
So, we care, and this is one of the ways that we show that we care, and we're always looking for something that we can invest our time and money in. And we're more boots on the ground than the Noon Club, which meets on Mondays. Not that we don't like them, not that we don't love them as a group, but we're more get your hands dirty, and do something physical.
When I first moved to this area with my Nana Papa, that's how I first heard about the Sunrise Rotary Club all those many moons ago, like 20 years ago, it feels like now. And it was on the international level of what you guys were doing, and then realizing, it's not that you guys do it locally too. It's just a wonderful group of people that are able to do these kind of things and take time out of their lives to be a part of something like this.
We try.
Well, when you mentioned how this came about, is actually one of the lacrosse Rotary clubs. I had met with it was a after-hours club. It was a younger club that started recently, and they told me about they did a mini Masters, and so they had a mini golf tournament, and they raised the very first one they ever did. They raised like $6,000 playing mini golf. So they told me about it, and then so I brought it back to the club, and being the club being both international and local, so we decided, and since the Ryder Cup was always a challenge of the Americans versus the international team, we decided to do local versus international the first two. But then this year, in light of what's going on in our community, along with COVID-19, the idling of Verso paper, we know that the needs are very strong locally, and so we wanted something a little different, so we thought the K-9 units to support. So rather than doing international, we just thought sheriffs versus cops would be kind of fun. And Chief Blevins and Sean have done some trash talking already, from what I hear. And,
I am not surprised.
And so we're looking forward to that.
I've been talking, especially the first half an hour of this show, with you and the mayor about our local representatives here and how proud we are of them, and that they represent the best of our community and everything, and a lot of the best intentions that we have and feelings in our heart. Our police force, our Wood County Sheriff's Department, same thing.
Absolutely.
Incredibly genuine, real people that care about their community, and you can talk to. They are going to listen. They are not going to judge right off the bat. They are just good people. And also competitive. Also, I know those guys a bit off air and everything, and they're competitive. So I mean, you couldn't find a better group of people to be doing this with, because they have a fun camaraderie. They certainly care about each other and work together. They are friends, but there's that competitive side too. So that's going to be really fun for those guys, I imagine.
Yeah, well, we have a fundraising opportunity when that comes to as well. Kyle Cronin, who's superintendent at Port Edward Schools and principal. He's always been our referee. He comes in referee outfit. He throws he fines people for taking mulligans. And, fines people for pretty much anything you can imagine. So I'm pretty sure he's going to take bribes from the sheriffs or the police to
I love it,
to move their ball, etc.
It's fantastic. That's good. I mean, there are so many side stories to this that are going to be a lot of fun. That's a big part of the reason why you want to be there and be a part of this. Not only for certainly the great cause and to support that, but just have some fun. I mean, we've had so many events canceled and not being able to be going on, and certainly even with events that have gone on, people have been afraid to go to. Here's one that it's safe, it's outside, you guys have taken all the precautions necessary, and you can have some fun. Even if you can't see people's faces laughing or smiling, you can tell that they're having fun. You can see it in the eyes. There's something about it. If for people, as I touch on that, people that aren't able to be a part of the event or maybe aren't going to be able to be there, you can still be a part of this event. You can sponsor a hole.
Correct. You can sponsor a hole for $50. And you don't even have to be a business to do that. Our family has several special events that are going on in this year. So we sponsored a hole to celebrate that. And you'll have to come to find out exactly what our family is doing
Nice
that's
tease.
special.
Nice
but
job.
We also have opportunities. We're selling the souvenir masks separately. You will get a souvenir mask to wear as part of that whole process, but we're selling the masks individually also for $10 each, and they're adorable. They're a navy blue, and they have a yellow paw print on what would be your cheek, and inside of the yellow paw print is our Rotary logo. So it's sort of a reminder of what this is and beyond just the event. So you can purchase those. You can always make a donation where we have a silent auction. So if you'd like to donate a prize for that, or you just want to donate money, period, for the cause. And we're also going to have a 50-50 raffle that night. So you wouldn't necessarily have to be a golfer to come out.
Nope.
You can come out and join us, just bring a lawn chair or whatever. And the start times, 5 o'clock is food and beverage. Shotgun start at 6:30. So, and then we'll be doing the other events after the fact. So lots of opportunities for you to help us and have some fun.
Yeah. We do want to mention that you must be 21 or older to attend the event. You should mention that. And also wanted to make sure that people knew, and we'll bring this up again at the end of the segment, but how can people register if they need to?
You can register, actually you can go on Facebook and look at the Sunrise Rotary page. You can also forward your payment and registration to Sunrise Rotary, P.O. Box 1181, Wisconsin Rapids, and the zip code for that is 54495. Again, that's P.O. Box 1181, Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin 54495. You can also pay with a credit card or PayPal and go to, when this is going to be long, like every other address, is Wisconsin Rapids Rotary.org/events, EVENTS.php.
Yeah, it is no fun giving email or website addresses over the air. It's just not fun. I will let you know. I mentioned this to everybody, Nancy, on the Over the Back Fence. If you need that address and you can't, find it or anything, email me, james@wfhr.com, and I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link, just in case anybody has any trouble with it. But it's a simpler one than some of the ones we have to give on the air here. So it's not as bad. But if you do need that web link or anything like that, please, any that you hear on the air here, always email me, james@wfhr.com, and I'll get it to you.
And I'm actually the contact for phone number, or text, or telephone. And I use my mobile, which is 608-235-2155. So if you have any questions about the event, you can call me or text me at that number.
And because I write slow, I'm going to make you repeat that again, because that's my biggest pet peeve when I'm halfway through and I don't get all the numbers.
You would not like doing Over the Back Fence. You would not like running that show. That is the only way that show goes. It seems like every day that happens to me 5 times at least. Do you mind giving that again?
No, sure. Again, my name is Dean Veneman, and my number is 608-235-2155.
Thanks, Dean. And we should mention also the deadline to register is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So, and that's staying. That is still the deadline?
Well, we'd really like to be able to let the catering know by then. We're not going to turn people down if we have any availability the next day.
Well, they just need to be prepared.
Yeah.
And the catering is actually going to be, again, we're always investing in local. The catering is going to be done by Chatterbox out of Kilner, and they have given us 3 options for food. We're either going to have Reuben sandwich, Sloppy Joe's, or Italian beef. So we've tried to accommodate as many options as we can. And
they're bringing the food truck out there.
They're bringing the food truck
That's
out,
really
so.
cool. Great food, great people.
Right.
And you had me at Italian beef. Like
There you
right
go.
there. I mean, it's so good from there too. And This is one of the reasons why we love talking about the Sunrise Rotary Club, and why even as a young kid in this area, I was so proud of having an organization like that in our community. You guys have always put back into the community. You give back, and we need more of that now than ever. And it's very cool that you guys do that you are focused on that, and we appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys joining us. We have Dean and Nancy from the Sunrise Rotary Club with us today, along with our friends at Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. I have to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with the gang at Sunrise Rotary right here on Morning Magazine, AM 1320, WFHR 67 here in Wisconsin Rapids, where you have Morning Magazine, and we are joined by Dean and Nancy from the Sunrise Rotary Club. And again, thanks to our friends at Wisconsin Rapids Community Media for being with us as well. Dean and Nancy, thank you for being here today. Appreciate it. I wanted to kind of give people a little bit of the behind the curtain look at how this event came to be. And to start things off, how long have you guys been working on this?
Well, this year's we kind of decided, we held off for a while, seeing what happened with the health situation.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to put it off, and then, so we normally would have the last 2 years we've had it, well, about August 15th, right in the middle of August is when we've had it. This will be our third year, and we knew we weren't going to be able to do it in August. We just knew that. So we talked about it, a couple different board meetings, and so let's give it a try. And when I went out to Papa Bears, and a shout out to Tom Gabriel and this team out there, they're doing a great job. And he said he loved having the event the last 2 years. They do close the entire golf course out for us that night. So, and which has been awful nice. And so.
Yeah.
And he said he understands that that chances are we are not going to have the type of attendance we've had in the past, and a lot of that is by choice. But he wanted to keep the event going, and appreciates the what it does and what it does for his business, and we brought a lot to the community. And it's a good exposure for us. So we said, our goal this year was more to just keep Rotary exposed in the community, and not necessarily to make a bunch of money. Obviously anything we can put towards the charity is great, but if we have a lighter turnout, we understand there's a lighter turnout. Times are tough. So,
well, you hit on a couple of things there, Dean, that are important for any business, nonprofit, radio station. I mean, anything right now is staying in the public eye, staying out there. I don't think anybody this year, outside of maybe hand sanitizer companies, are expecting to land in the red. It's really about not only keeping out there, and that's not a popularity thing. That's not like, hey, look at me. This is more about, hey, we're still here. We haven't gone anywhere. We're still here for you. It's about that, staying in the eye and doing that. And I respect that a lot, because I know for a fact there are some businesses out there that are thinking that they can finish in the red, and it's just not going to happen in a year like this. Again, outside of maybe some paper towel companies and hand sanitizers and stuff like that, that kind of thing seems to be doing well. We should have all invested in that, apparently.
Toilet paper.
Yes.
My business sells a lot of decorated masks.
You're good. You're good then. Yeah. You must be really busy. I also appreciate you mentioning Papa Bear's mini golf, because it shouldn't be taken lightly, that closing things down and that kind of thing, and all the extra effort that they give to host an event like this. They don't have to do that. They do this, like as you mentioned there. He wants to be a part of these things. And again, goes back to what we appreciate so much, especially here at the station, of people that give back to their community. Many times giving back, it doesn't involve money. Maybe, it involves different things like that, giving of time, donating, that kind of thing. And doing something like this is something we really appreciate.
This year's been a challenge for us. Even we support Neighborhood Table several times a year, and we're not boots on the ground this time because we're not allowed in there. So we're just doing it different. They're doing it different. So
I'm glad you brought them up too, because that's I didn't know that, and that's another organization that we care a lot about, especially Focus and everybody a part of that. And I would like to think in a divisive time that we can all agree nobody should be hungry right now.
Right.
So these kind of organizations are so key and so vital to this community, and the domino effect of the people that it helps. Because we've talked about this before with people from the neighborhood table, where it isn't just about them getting a meal, it's certainly an important part, but the interaction, the communication that they have in that process is just as vital as the nutrition that they get from that meal.
Right.
Well, and then along those same lines, and that's one of the reasons the K9, that's an extremely expensive project. Well, people may know they actually did reach their goal
Yeah.
at the Wisconsin Rapids at the police department goal. But the ongoing maintenance is something that they have to achieve. So we're hoping to help in that way. And the Wood County Sheriff's Department is looking to get another dog. It's extremely expensive if people, canine unit and training and such.
Yeah.
So that's an important part of our community.
We've had to talk with Sheriff Becker about that quite a bit, and it is honestly one of those things that he really opened my eyes to, because I didn't even know that was something that they had to budget for. I would just think that, hey, if our sheriff's department, our police department needs a canine, let's get them a canine, and that they have to, all the things, the loops, the hoops that they have to jump through to try to make this happen,
Right.
and the cost of it certainly is I think we all understood that it was going to be expensive, but that they have to kind of come up with this and stuff, and that we're not better. That is one of those things that we haven't really kind of set up the budget for right yet. So it's so great to have organizations helping with that. These canine units are so vital to what they do. They are such a big part of it. And not just when you see somebody pulled over and a canine coming out and checking things out. These dogs are trained to help find some of our seniors that go missing, or just anybody, little kids that go missing, anything like that. There are so many different things that they do, and why it's an important part of this. And talking with Sheriff Becker about it, and some of the eye-opening things about this, where even the vest that the dog needs, that every dog should have and stuff, they have to pay for these kind of things. It's just when I saw that was what you guys were, the cause was this year, I could not tell you how much that lit me up inside. It's something that doesn't get a lot of attention, and it's great to see you guys notice that and giving the attention to it.
So you're golfing?
I'm not a golfer, but I'm thinking about sponsoring a hole, because I actually have a class that day. I won't be able to be there, but I actually am thinking about sponsoring a hole. That's part of. I'm glad you brought that up, because it's one thing to talk a good game, but we have to back it up too.
Right.
And I every day I talk about these things, but that's part of the reason why I'm on the board of the Family Center, why I work so much with the Humane Society. Because you can't just talk. It's actions that really speak, and we all know that not everybody can be at this event, or in that kind of thing. So you can still be a part of it by sponsoring a hole, or even spreading the word. That's another part of this too.
Right.
We all know that as big as social media is and everything, there's nothing that spreads the word better than being at the water cooler, or being at. Boy, is that an old reference? Does anybody even go to a water cooler? But
or the bubbler.
Yes, thank you. I actually was gonna say grapevine and thought that was too old, but I could have. But either it's the grapevine, water cooler, whatever it is, word of mouth is certainly the most popular way to spread the word about something like that. So this event in particular, that's a great way of helping out, along with sponsoring a hole or being at the event itself.
Or buying a mask.
Buying a mask.
Buying a mask, yes. Thank you very much for that. And again, if people want to do any of these things, Nancy, how can they register for the Who Let the Canines Out? How they can let out for this?
They can forward payment and registration to Sunrise Rotary, P.O. Box 1181, Wisconsin Rapids 54495. Again, that's P.O. Box 1181, Wisconsin Rapids, with a zip code of 54495. And you can also pay with credit card or PayPal by going to visit wisconsinrapidsrotary.org/events.php. And if you have any other questions, you can contact Dean to do that over the phone, also at 608-235-2155. Again, that's 608-235-2155.
Thank you, Nancy. And again, the third annual Sunrise Rotary Mini Ryder Cup Classic happening September 24th over at Papa Bear's Mini Golf in Nakusa. We'll be talking more about this and Over the Back Fence and as we go along up to the event, but cannot thank you both enough for the time and being in with us today. Thank you.
And we should probably say it's $35 for that evening, which is food, golf, and then the souvenir mask, and a whole sponsorship is $50. But if someone just wants to give us money towards the project, we'll take that too.
Appreciate that, Nancy. Thank you for mentioning that. And I want to thank you guys at the Sunrise Rotary Club, all you do for the community. Appreciate it very much. And thanks for sitting in with us today.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Big thanks to our friends at Wisconsin Rapids Community Media as well for hanging out with us today. We'll have more Morning Magazine for you tomorrow right here on AM 1320 WFHR.